In this exercise, we will be drawing a drain protector. We will look at a new pattern feature, the variable pattern. It allows us to create simple to complex geometry with just a few features on the design tree. So first of all, we'll open up a new part. On the front plane, draw a sketch. And we'll add a few dimensions. The angle between these two, 45 degrees. And we'll give a coincidence relation . Now we'll select the offset and the thickness of the material, 1.5. And now, to close off the sketch on the left hand side, I'll draw another line. And below the trim entities, there is an extend entities. So I'll extend on this line. And then I'll trim off the excess. On the other side, I'm going to draw a center line. And now the sketch is complete. So exit the sketch. By Features commands, revolve boss base. And I will revolve it about the following center line. And I will just rename the feature . On this face, I need to draw a new sketch. And it's on this face that the slot pattern will be created. So first of all, I will draw a center line . And I draw another center line at an angle, any angle. And now I select the slot command. The straight slot, as you can see, the first one there, point 1 is the center point for one end of the slot, point 2 the center point for the other end, and point 3 gives us the radius of the slot. So for point 1 I will click anywhere at all here, point 2 the end of the center line, and point 3 anywhere out there. Adding a few dimensions. The offset distance between the center and point 1, I'll go with 20 millimeters. Between point 1 and point 2, that distance I'll make 50. And the radius for the slot is 4 millimeters. The last measurement to put in now is the angle. And the angle between the two center lines I'll make 0. The slot now, the sketch for it is fully defined, and what's left to do is extrude cut. So that is created. To draw the rest of the slots, which will be 12 in total, we'll go up here to, we could use circle pattern, but to give us more variation, more manipulation on the patterns, we will use variable pattern. So the first slot goes into the features to be patterned. To create the rest of them now, we create a pattern table. So clicking that, and we can see here the following pattern table appears. Now I want to add an instance. So the first instance here, I will first of all select the angle that the instance will be away from the original. Then the offset distance from the center, and by clicking on these measurements on the screen, we can see that they're transferred automatically onto the table. If we wanted to change the radius of the various slots, I would also add this measurement. But because for this exercise the thickness of each slot will remain the same, I don't need to add it. So the second slot I want to be at an angle of 30 degrees because we're going to have 12 slots in total. So if I click on the box here, I could type in my 30 degrees, or I can let the package do it itself. 360 divided by 12, click outside the table, and it works out to be 30. Now when you update the preview, the first slot is drawn. We want to add a further 11, so click 11 and add the instance, and we can see from the table that 12 instances have been added. So now selecting the second one will be 60 degrees and so on. This table works like an Excel sheet. So instead of typing in 60, 90 and so on, we can highlight the first two columns by dragging the mouse over the two, letting it go, and now drag down to the bottom. In dragging down to the bottom, we can see here that the computer auto-populates the table. Update preview. And if I've one instance too many added, I can skip the instance, or I can actually go and delete it altogether. Delete. The next thing I want to do is every second slot I need its offset distance to be changed. So the first slot is the original 20 millimeters and the slot length 50 millimeters long. The second one, I want the offset distance to be 40 and the slot length to be 30. Once again, preview, update preview. So now it's a matter of copying and pasting that information onto every second slot. once again, copy, paste, and update preview enables us to look at it before we actually accept it. So happy enough with that, select OK. And once again, select OK. There now is a pattern created. Now we can see on the design tree that the instances are all created here. If we want to change the pattern in any way, we can click on any one of these instances, for example, instance 3, suppress it, instance 9, suppress it. A lot more variations can be created. Alternatively, we can delete. Now, if we delete the instance, we're deleting it from the table altogether. Another way of changing the size is to select the face of the slot, and we can see that the following measurements appear. I can change this measurement now, say to 30. Change this measurement to 40. And rebuild. And as you can see now, this slot has increased in size. So it allows for a greater and a speedy way of manipulating the various slots that are created. To continue on with the exercise, I will select this face and I'll draw another sketch. And on this sketch, I will draw a circle. So once again, we'll start off with a center line. And another center line at an angle. Center point circle. And now to add a few measurements. Diameter 8 millimeters. Distance out 95. And the last thing, angle between the two center lines to be 0. And accept. Features, extrude cut. So now with the pattern, the whole is shown. A new pattern, go down to variable pattern again, create table, and add an instance. First of all, select the angle, select the distance, and also we can select the diameter of the circle if it needs to be changed. However, we'll leave it alone. So, in this case, I will change 95 millimeters to 110 millimeters. Update preview. Now we can see that another hole is created there. In this case, instead of adding 23 instance, we're adding 46. We have the original instance 1. We have the one shown in yellow here. Instance 2, we will change that to 15 degrees. And this measurement changed to 110. Update the preview again. So the next one, 30. Next one, 45. $60. $75. So it's just a matter of completing the rest of the table. Updating the preview, we can see that all the instances now have been created. So, accepting that and accepting. Now there is a pattern created, and on the design tree we can see the variable patterns for the holes. Shown, and the variable pattern for the slots. There now is a drain protector complete. The last thing I need to do is to give it an appearance. Go for plastic. High gloss, and just give it as shown here. So this exercise, we were talking about the variable pattern and how it might be useful in drawing various objects. This is the end of this exercise.